Welcome to a very important episode of the Power Hour this week. I am Steve, obviously, along with the urban sensation, the icon C Red. And joining us, giving us his time, is the former longest reigning Rocket Pro Wrestling heavyweight champion in the history of the company. And some might say a very controversial ending to Fall Brawl. Mr. Michaels, thank you for taking time out of your very busy schedule to sit down with us tonight and react to the things that went down at Fall Brawl. Uh, First of all, how are you feeling, sir?
How am I feeling? I went through hell. I showed why I was the champion for 553 days, and then I got stabbed in the back. I got screwed. How do you think I'm feeling?
Well, both C Red and I were at commentary, and we watched possibly one of the most violent matches we have ever seen. And Rocket Pro Wrestling has a history of violent matches. We've seen last rides, we've seen street fights, we've seen them all. But what was going on between you and the challenger BOW was on another level. And certainly you had the wherewithal to take all of the punishment, to go through all that you went through to still come out as champion until, as I said, the controversy we'll get to in a little while occurred. Um, have you had a chance to process all of these feelings? Still a very short time ago, this all went down, and I know, that kind of situation can really grate. When I ask you how you're feeling, not just physically, not just mentally, but as a person that is a pillar of this industry, how's it going?
It's been 10 days, Steve. It's been 10 long, long days. I have the bruises all over my body from what BOW put me through. I have the scars on my body from what I went through. But the hardest thing I'm going through is looking at the spot on my shelf where my RPW Heavyweight Championship sat for almost 2 years as it's empty. I'm having a damn hard time reconciling that.
I can appreciate that. As someone who has never held championship gold of any capacity, uh, of the magnitude of your championship, I have no point of reference for what you're going through right now. I will tell you this, a title reign of that length and of that magnitude to carry a company that puts 500 butts in seats every month, month in and month out, um, your reign is historic. And although we haven't always seen eye to eye on things, there is no denying what you have meant to this business and that company as being a constant pillar of excellence at a company that is known for its excellence. So before we get into recounting all that has gone down, Rocket Pro Wrestling was lucky you came around and was lucky you took that title when you did. And 550 plus days is something that only legends can do. So on behalf of myself, on behalf of C Red and many other people maybe that don't understand, what's going on, we appreciate the effort that you took month in, month out, going on the road to different companies, going out of the country, holding that strap proudly and doing what you did to put Rocket Pro Wrestling on the mat. Quite honestly, some people say you got what you deserved. I don't believe that to be true. I believe what happened after the match was shocking. And, like I said, I like to consider myself to be part of the loop. I never saw any of it coming. And I can understand your frustration and your irritation. But before we get into that, what an absolutely stellar run as champion, my friend.
You know, Steve, Red, we not always seen eye to eye. As a matter of we've been at odds about a lot of things. And I appreciate you saying what you did about my reign. Because the fact of the matter is, the fans, they didn't give a shit. They didn't care. They didn't care at all. As I left, what did they do? They booed me. I am a legend in this company. I have become a legend in the city. And what thanks did I get? I got booed. I was cheered out of the arena. Nobody was happy. Everybody was happy. I was the only one. I had to look at their faces. I had to look at their faces as they laughed, as they disrespected me. Year and a half, Steve. A year and a half, I kept that company alive. And that's not taking anything away from any of the other boys in the back. But none of them, you could go down that line. Marches, the Grins, the Shoguns, the Shacks, the Stones, none of them could have even imagined doing what I did. I'm sick of the disrespect, Steve.
You have reached a level of status in this profession. We saw the footage from the Cauliflower Alley Club. Uh, that is rarefied air. Defending the title at various companies uh, with the confidence in yourself that you're always going to bring the strap home and the longevity. That kind of longevity just doesn't happen with an average performer. There is a commitment to Rocket Pro Wrestling that you made to be there at all of the shows, defending your title month in, month out, regardless of how you felt, your physical condition, your personal life. You were always there. Not sure I can say that about a lot of the other superstars. Some of the superstars are there and then they're not there. They're there again and then they take some time. The consistency that you brought to the company over that 550 plus day period of time is not something that happens all that much in this business anymore. And I think that is the biggest talking point here is not only were you able to stay at the highest of levels, but for that length of time is absolutely staggering. So disrespect.
Steve, I, I was at every single show that entire reign except for one. And the one show I wasn't there for, I was in San Antonio, Texas, defending my RPW heavyweight title in San Antonio, Texas, against New Japan's own, the Bullet Club's own Chase Owen. And guess what? I came back home with my title.
And let me just say, I think that is the part that people either they don't want to see or they just don't see it. For me personally, you have not only had this length, but there have been, we all know that Rocket Pro takes the summer off. You didn't.
Nope.
You defended every time I turned around. I'm looking on social media and there you are booked in a match to defend said title when honestly you didn't have to, but you
Against top
did
level
it.
talent, IPW, Wrestle League. That match at Wrestle League goes down as one of the damnedest things I ever saw.
And it wasn't just in Chicago,
No, it was
Alabama,
overseas. And
Texas, Alaska, Hawaii. I am defending, I defended my heavyweight championship against anyone that was man enough to step up. And I came back time and time again with my title. Everyone overlooks that. And you're right, Red. People don't care. The fans, the marks that are out there that think they know everything, that think they control the business and what goes on, and that their favorites will always win. Well, guess what? I beat all their favorites. I beat them all. And then the only way I could possibly lose that championship, it was to get screwed over by the goddamn owner of the company that I helped keep alive. That's disrespect.
So let's go back to that moment and, let's establish very clearly that you brought national notoriety to Rocket Pro Wrestling with the amount of out of state title defenses that you had against top echelon talent across the United States. So that is established. They brought in, everybody was really happy when Joe Hendry came in and made an appearance at Christmas Chaos and fought Marche. Brought a lot of eyes onto Rocket Pro Wrestling. What about the eyes that Michaels brought from being out there on the road, being a road warrior, the consummate professional, showing people what it's like to be a Rocket Pro superstar. And disrespect is a great word to use because that's all that it is. So now that we've coined what's going on and we've labeled it, you said it all came down to ownership's plan. That plan was set into motion quite a while ago for it to unfold the way it did, so nobody saw what was happening. Even I fell victim to it, as Maximus Orion so eloquently posted my words online uh, when he became the bastard, as it were. So we were all fooled. That's got to be a bitter pill to swallow.
You know, Maximus, Shelley, Bill, they all treated me like I was family. They'd give me hugs. They'd make sure that my family had seats. They'd give me hugs and say, "Hey, how you doing,
And
Steve?"
don't leave out Nuke. Don't leave out Nuke as far
Oh,
as
I'm going to get to Nuke.
okay.
I'm going to get to Nuke. But they all patted my back and said, "Hey, way to go. Great job on defending that title and keeping RPW relevant." When there's other companies in the area that I could have taken my personal talents to. Because don't think my phone isn't ringing. Don't think I don't have the text. And to have Nuke, to have Kevin say, "Hey, we love having you come in. We love seeing you. Thank you for everything that you're doing to keep us relevant." I welcomed Maximus into my inner circle. I didn't have to. Trust me, there's a lot of people in the back that are trying to get into that inner circle with the undeniable. They've been trying for years. Maximus, I let in. And what did he do? What did Shelley do? What did Nuke do? They turned their backs on me. They stabbed me in the back. They cut me off at the knees. And they took the one that really matters to me. They took my title in the cheapest way imaginable. That won't stand.
So now here we are, 10 days after what went down and the cashing in of the briefcase that he had forfeited because he quit. And that was all part of a plan to stop you, to stop the undeniable, to stop Damian Saint. Where do you think the energy of what this plan was and the length of time it took this plan to gestate and get to that moment? Do you think they were out to get you, who has been the champion in great standing for 2 years plus? Do you think it was to send a message to Damian Saint, who has literally been kind of the puppet master? Or do you think it was a message to the undeniable as a whole? Are they picking on you or are they picking on the unit? That's my question. Or does it even matter?
No, it matters, Steve. Matters a hell of a lot. And it does to me at least. You know, all the boys in the undeniable, they're soldiers. They do what they need to do. And sometimes they get hurt doing it. But they understood what the end goal was. And that was championship gold around Steve Michaels' waist. Because when Steve Michaels succeeds, the undeniable succeeds, which means better spots on the card, better paydays, booze, women, you name it, they got it. Because that's what Steve Michaels does. So they weren't going after them. Saint thinks he's a brilliant tactician. But I watched the footage. I watched the footage of my match. If it wasn't for Saint, I never would have gone through the table.
It's a fair
He
point.
held the undeniable back. The undeniable was trying to get to me to prevent me from going through the table. He wasn't watching. And I went through a table, which then made me easy pickings to get my title taken away. So they weren't going after that buffoon. They were going after me
Sure
because
seems that way.
they think they could cut the head off of the snake and it all dies. But I'm not a snake. I'm a bear. And you don't want to piss off a bear.
Let me ask this because it just formulated in my head. We saw Saint's reaction live and in person, me and Steve. But there's a part of me that wonders, was he part of this? And here's why I ask. And I'm not trying to stir the pot. That's normally Steve's job. But it was stated that he signed the contract. He gave the contract to said person. And then he stated publicly that only one person could cash it in. Now, to me, that's just me. It sounds like a setup.
Look,
That's
uh,
just me.
I see what you're saying, Red, and I don't think Saint is smart enough to take the bait for that and to be that. Look, I've been around him for almost 2 years now. He doesn't think that far ahead.
Oh, okay.
He likes to act and pretend like he's the planner and he's the brilliant mind behind everything. He's not. I like to let him pretend like he is. But for what it's worth, I received a call or a text or a message from everybody in the undeniable after my match, checking in on me. Hey, Michaels, we haven't heard from you. How you doing? Hefe, what's going on? Do you know who didn't message me? Damian Saint.
Mm.
And that's just the icing on top of everything. I got calls from longtime friends in the business, people that I haven't known, people that I have a good connection with, and they checked up on me. But the man who's supposed to be in my corner, who was too stupid to see what was going on. I don't know if he forgot, if he got busy, if he's just too scared of what I'm gonna say. But I noticed I didn't get a call.
It's an
Well,
interesting scenario, and it is something that you have to see to believe. And very shortly at the movie theater, the premiere of Fall Brawl, you can watch the entire incident unfold in real time, and you can see what the former champion is talking about. It's interesting now. Uh, Obviously, we saw you chop Damian Saint. That will be something that will be featured in footage for a long time to come. You sent a message, and I think that is something that people will look at and not necessarily be puzzled, because you've been very clear about your intentions since we started this interview. My question is this: with a loss like that and the way it was taken from you, it was not, were you pinned? Yes. Were you beaten? I'm not so sure. And I think that's a very important distinction, because to hold a victory over the Chicago Bear Hug, Steve Michaels, by pinfall, very few have walked down that road. To hold a victory per se doesn't necessarily carry the same gravitas, at least to me as an observer. But now that it's occurred, and you saw the Rocket Pro Avengers come out to thwart the undeniable, and we saw Turtle, and we saw our friend Rion, who is not here tonight, conspicuously absent, mind you. And you saw obviously Maximus and Shelley and and Nuke, and there was a whole brain trust and group there to thwart the undeniable. A very premeditated situation because everybody came out. It was matchups, their team versus the undeniable. And on that night, with the surprise of it all, they got it over on you, and your title has been taken. Now we move on. Now we move on. We move on to Darkness Falls, and then we move on to Harvest Havoc, and then we move on to Christmas Chaos, all the way through the rest of the season, all the way up to Kicks on 66. And nobody knows the time frame for the return of the Chicago Bear Hug. We don't know what your plans are. We're not going to be impertinent enough to ask them. But what I will ask is now that you've had a chance to sit back and see everything that went down, have you established a response to everything that went down, to those that had a premeditated plan with one goal to remove that strap from your title after 50, from your shoulder after 550 days?
Yeah, I do, Steve. I do, and let me just address the elephant that's not in the room. Rion Skills.
We
Out
all
of
saw it.
everybody, out of everybody that came out, he's the only man that I have any bit of respect for. Because if you watch that footage, he's the only man who was willing to actually fight the bear.
Yes.
He made a beeline to me and he made sure I stayed down. And I hate it. I don't like it at all, but I respect it because that's what I would have done. He saw that I was down and he kept me down, and I can respect that. But to get pinned by with, I'm not even going to say with all due respect, to get pinned by a kid that likes to pretend he's a wrestler, that likes to pop his friends who show up because they showed up because they played Fortnite together, and he does his little moves just to try and not to win anything. He does it to pop himself and to pop his friends. To get pinned by that fucking mark, I have stayed up. I have stayed up at night for the past 10 days because he pinned me. Because he took the easy way. And the fact that he'll be the first to tell you that he's a shitty wrestler. He'll be the first to say it. He's already said it. For that piece of shit to have been the one to pin me, I lost the fight with the goddamn pencil, Steve. So what am I going to do? Steve Michaels, a long time ago, Steve Michaels was known as the Brutal Bear. Steve Michaels rained brutality down on everybody and anyone that got in his path. I forgot that I am the Brutal Bear. I forgot what got me that title, Steve. I got lackadaisical and I let it slip out of my. Steve, I need to go back to what won me that championship. I'm no longer going to just be simply undeniable. I've been that since day one, whether people want to admit it or not. No, see what what the heads of RPW, what the RPW Avengers, as the marks are calling them, what they like to think is that they've beaten me down. They woke up the bear. They woke up the brutal bear. I promise you, Steve. I promise you. I'm not going to let you know when I'm coming back because I need time. I need time to become the bear. But when the bear comes back, there is not a man on that roster that is safe from me. And I promise you, I swear it on my father's grave, I will become the RPW heavyweight champion again. It's just a matter of time. You can't stop what's inevitable, Steve. I think I've said enough to you guys. Thank you for having me on. And thank you for reminding me why I'm the goddamn bear.
Man, what was all right? First of all, let me say this. This new personality of yours is gonna get some taking used to. But there's one question, one that I want answers to. And I know clearly Michaels don't know. But I want the answer to this question. If you know it, and I know you don't, but have you thought about, because we've saw the footage. We saw the footage. Why did Saint hold back the undeniable? See, because and here's why I'm asking that, Steve. You've known me. You've known me in my good perception and my bad carnation. Right? Let's take the ARC for example. Right? Did you ever see me hold the ARC back? Did you ever see me see one of my members, my cohorts, my teammates in trouble and me tell the rest of the ARC, hold on? That's not what a good second does, Steve. Now, don't get it twisted. Me and you have had this argument and debate for almost 2 years, right? Steve Michaels proved time and time again that he didn't need them to win. Correct?
Correct.
But all of a sudden, they're there. Okay, that's a whole different argument. But they're there at the most pivotal moment. Saint holds everybody back. Like, do you? This is why, and I mean, I wasn't trying to piss the man off or do what you normally do, stir the pot. But it makes me wonder. You see what I'm saying? Like there's a part of me, a huge part of me, that wonders if Saint wasn't in on this.
You make interesting points, and you certainly made those points to Mr. Michaels. Here is the uncomfortable truth. Rocket Pro Wrestling has got trouble coming. Listen, here's the thing. My goal tonight was to find out how the man was feeling, whether you like the undeniable or not, whether you like Steve Michaels as a person, a wrestler, what have you, or not. 556 days, I believe, is what he said. That is an astonishing amount of time while you're defending it every month, even out of state. Okay. So whether you like it, approve of his message, doesn't matter. The man brought respect to that title. And how was it taken off of him? In his mind, disrespectfully. So now he doesn't tell us when he's coming back. But the frightening thing is, he's coming back. And here's the problem for everybody involved. Not just Damian Saint, not just his soldiers in the undeniable, but every one of those people, including our Rion, that stood against him and allowed this to take place. When he comes back as the brutal bear, do you remember the brutal bear?
Of course
you
I
know
do.
what that man is capable of?
We both have seen it live, up close, and in person.
It was an amazing moment for the people that own this company. And it was an amazing moment for the fans. And if you go to Hollywood Boulevard on Saturday and you enjoy an M80 cocktail, you enjoy a Kings of the Six cocktail, and you get in there and you watch that movie and you see that main event in which Steve Michaels and BOW went to the ends of the earth for a war, that Steve Michaels won through blood, sweat, and tears, largely without the undeniable.
True.
To then have the situation unfold as it did, he will watch that over and over again. He will study that over and over again, and he will become angrier and angrier. They say don't poke the bear. Well, you didn't just poke the bear. You embarrassed the bear. You disrespected the bear. The bear that has made that title what it is today. And he's going to come back. And he's going to be holding people accountable. And may God have mercy on the souls that cross his path. Let's be honest, C-Red. Even some of the best at Rocket Pro Wrestling can't handle the brutal beast. And there isn't much Marche Rocket can't handle. I'm not sure that he survives the brutal beast.
Well, let's be honest. This wouldn't be. They've fought before, and as much as both of us on this show we swore up and down that there was going to be a new champ. Both of us. And it wasn't like, oh, with all the undeniable rushed the ring and they beat. No. Steve Michaels proved that night to at least us why he was the champ. And again, I'm taking nothing away at all. There have been times where we've argued.
Yes.
You didn't like his tactics. You didn't like the undeniable. Well, shit.
I was the king of the asterisk, for God's sake. I know my role in this.
But like I said, for me, regardless whether you were on undeniable side or not, and then that's the thing. That's another reason why I feel Saint was part of this shit. Think about it. Everybody has called everybody called Michaels, right? He stated it. They've reached out in some shape, form, or fashion, right? Except for one person.
I will side with Michaels on this. I don't think general manager Damian Saint has it in his capabilities to pull off something like that by his hand. And I would find it very difficult to believe that he was in cahoots with Team Rocket Pro.
But here's why I'm saying it, Steve. And it's something you haven't thought about. It's something Michaels hasn't thought about, right?
Right.
We've got a new owner, right?
Nuke.
And whether you agree or disagree, Saint has been a pain in the ass of everybody, right?
Yeah.
So how do you get in good with the new owner so you keep your fucking job?
You sacrifice your title and your friend. So you're saying out of cowardice and self-preservation, Save colluded with Nuke for this means to an end. Well, that is very Damian Saint. So if that's it, on those merits, I will maybe share some agreement with you. But there's no way Damian
I'm not
Saint was
saying, I'm not
now I get it.
saying,
Now I get it. All right. Well, maybe that's true.
and that's
Here
all
is
I'm saying.
Yeah. Here's the
I understand
undeniable
he's
truth.
not smart enough to think the long game like I would, right?
Yeah.
But to realize that when Nuke became owner, I don't care what you say, what I say, he had 3 months to try to figure out how to get his ass out the frying pan because he knew at any moment Nuke could come out and fire his ass on the spot, right?
Well, I got an idea.
Shoot.
We're coming pretty close to Darkness Falls.
Okay.
So why don't we reach out to our owner, the amazing Nuke, get him on this show and ask him? Let's see what he says. It would be good to talk Darkness Falls with the owner of Rocket Pro. So as we get closer to October, we'll try to bring Nuke on and we'll pick his brain about all things that have gone down from Fall Brawl to Darkness Falls. The overwhelming takeaway from what we have just experienced is there is going to be a moment in time where those that were complicit in that situation are going to be held accountable and they are going to face the brutal bear. May God have mercy on your souls. I have a very strong relationship with our former champion. I held him accountable when I felt it was necessary, and he did not bludgeon me in all of the things that I said, right?
Correct.
I talked to his face at commentary, and he didn't beat me, did he?
No.
There's a reason for that.
Well, I think there's whether you guys have seen eye to eye before, there is some layer of respect. And I've told you this countless times that regardless of sometimes how you say stuff, it's the fact that you don't hold your opinion, like you speak how you feel. And whether you've interviewed whoever, you've always came with those questions that make everybody else around you think. So
And I'll take that ass whipping. I've always taken the ass
well,
whipping.
there have been times where, again, and speaking of Rocket Pro, again, you had an interview, somebody didn't like it, you got your ass whooped, and then the match and all that other shit. But regardless to that, there's always been a level of respect. Because let's be honest, Steve Michaels at any point could have came over there and took us all out. Just think about it. I don't think he's going to go after you, then go after Shelly, and then me and Blackburn just get to sit there and no. Once he's pissed,
He
once
never
he's
hit
pissed,
Blackburn. That's abuse of elderly people. He wouldn't do that. You're not going to beat a guy from a nursing home.
once he's and that's and I don't think anybody, like, you're saying it calmly, but nobody is grasping the concept. You have fucking pissed off the bear.
He's coming.
And now,
He's coming. Oh,
like, if people don't realize, watch footage of Rocket Pro
he's coming.
before he got the title, right?
He's coming, man.
Like,
You love
that
Michael
dude
Myers. You love
is
Darth Vader. He's coming.
dude. I don't
The bear
I
is
don't know
coming.
I don't know if Shelly got enough witch power or whatever she got to bring whoever. Like, the only person she better summon is Superman.
He's
Shit.
coming, man.
But
And when he does come, and he will,
I'm switching my seat to the end spot that
I'm
night.
going up to Mission Control.
No, I'm fuck
I'm
that,
going to
because
Mission
I'm gonna
Control,
sit
man.
on the
I want no
end.
part of that.
That way, when he comes, I'm going the fuck after that.
Yeah, it's there's a lot there. There are some times you better not miss RPW because the uh the
And
bell has been rung.
that's
The
the
bell has
scary
been rung,
part.
and you can't
He
unring it.
won't say when he's coming back, right?
Right?
So he might not show up at Darkness Falls, right? And then if it was me, I would let everything calm down, everything simmer, everybody forget. Bam. Or maybe who knows? Maybe he comes out at Darkness Falls and beats the shit out of everybody.
All I know is when he comes, and he
And he's
will,
coming.
uh, it's going to change the game. It's going to change the game a lot. Don't miss Rocket Pro Season 7. Next stop, Darkness Falls in October. And don't miss the world premiere of Fall Brawl at the Hollywood Boulevard Theater this Saturday night. Special Rocket Pro drinks. A lot of the Rocket Pro stars are going to be there. If I wasn't having to go to a family wedding, I would be there with bells on, even though I don't like to listen to myself do commentary very much. But that's my own problem.
Well, my plan is to be there
Well,
and to
have
have
an
it
80 for me.
have an M80 because it sounds delicious. Um, enjoy the wedding.
A way to
But
start my last season at Rocket Pro. All of this fucking craziness.
well, you keep saying it, and I said it during the show, and
I
and
appreciate
again,
it.
I know what's going on. So, um, and that's part of the reason why I'm going to miss you, and then I'm going to miss this show, uh, because who else am I going to have to bounce all of this shit off? Like, he said, he's been dealing with what happened for 10 days.
Yes.
We've been dealing with it in a different way for 10 days. days.
Yes, we have.
And like that's ironic. Like, God forbid, okay, you walk away and then his terror keeps going. Who am I going to look at in
Travis, maybe you go join JFW. Maybe, there's plenty of places you
Oh,
could
not
bounce
on
stuff
not on
off
the
of.
Monday night.
That's
Not on
fair.
the Monday night. Not on
That's
the Monday.
fair. One more thing, and we'll turn to the other things we're going to do tonight. He said, and I find this to be a takeaway too. He said he carried Rocket Pro Wrestling on his back, and he did.
True.
He was a stellar champion. He fought everywhere, like we have said repeatedly. What if now the wiring changes, and instead of trying to carry Rocket Pro, he destroys it?
Well, as long as he don't come to commentary, I'm fine.
I'm just saying one more time and then we'll move on. When he comes, and he will come, it could be a change in the winds of fate at Rocket Pro Wrestling. Stay tuned. It's going to be a hell of a season. Going to be a hell of a season. Uh, Power Hour, we love to do this, and we love to talk about all the things that are relevant in our little world of wrestling. In just a little bit, Cactus, who's been a little jet lagged and a little under the weather, will join us. She was live at the Concord Music Hall on Sunday night to see Super Wrestlers 10. So we're going to wait and talk about that till she gets here. There's some other stuff, Red. Some things happened at a couple of places that, well, she is. uh, you
Start
know,
with Friday.
I'll tell you what, the longer I'm in this business, even though the time is running out, it never fails. I always, shit happens and I'm always left going, what the fuck just happened? So Friday night, Chicago style wrestling, reckless conduct. Hell of a show. We'll talk about some of it, maybe not all of it, but some of it, because there are some things that need to be said. Um, we talked at length about the women's championship, and Lily and Amina did fight, and they fought, and they fought, and they fought, and things kept getting more escalated and more intense. And eventually it ended in a double count out. So you can just imagine what that looked like, right?
Okay.
So then Lily La Pescadita, who was on this show telling us how much it means to her to become CSW Women's Champion, to what this business means to her, issued a challenge for the upcoming CSW show. Last woman standing.
Oh shit.
Oh shit, with an exclamation point. Uh, it has not necessarily been revealed if that will take place at Dark Ritual in October. By the way, I love that name. What a great name. We've had many names of our October show. Fright Night, Friday the 3rd. There have been a lot of great names that we have used in October. Dark Ritual is something, because I'm pretty sure that's what it's going to be. But you might get a chance to see a last woman standing match, which should probably be off the rails. Uh, there was some GM shit that happened at Chicago Style Wrestling.
You're the GM.
I am. And I am not the GM like Damian Saint.
Thank God.
I am not out there to I'm not out there to further my own ego. I am not out there to have an agenda. I'm not out there to be anything but a voice of authority. Well, they tested me. And the longer the show went on and the more I was tested, uh, the more irritated I became. So it
Uh-oh.
started off right out of the gate. First of all, shout out to Hot Rod Daddy Andy, who was in the pre-show tag match, teamed up with the Juice King Joey Pearson, taking on CWC, and Team Power Juice, which is Andy and Joey, did amazingly well. So in his uh, first match, shall we say, other than the Futures Royal, Hot Rod Daddy Andy came to play and he did beautifully. Congratulations, Andy. And Cactus was there, so she was a very proud Mrs. Andy. So it was a very cool moment for him. Uh, After the Futures Royal, I come out. After we do the Pledge of Allegiance, or not the Pledge of Allegiance, but the national anthem. I come out to because Wade is off. So I'm GM, I'm commentator, and I'm ring announcer. So from the minute the show starts until the minute the show ends, I am at 1,000 miles an hour. So at the end of reckless conduct, I was dead. I sat in the bar by myself having a beer because I couldn't move. But that's neither here nor there. Um, that was for Travis. So it starts off with me getting ready to introduce the welcoming the crowd. I had a moment where I was like, the world is shit right now. They had just had an ice incident in Franklin Park that day. So we weren't sure what kind of crowd we were going to get. The police presence in Franklin Park was unlike anything I've ever seen. We just had the shooting. Uh, there's a lot of chaos right now in the world, a lot of bad things happening to good people, and a lot of bad things happening to bad people. It is a uncertain time. So I wanted the crowd to know how much we appreciate them in the fact that on a night like that, they came out and they packed the place to sell out. And they were so enthusiastic. I noticed in the two pre-show matches that everybody was there was a tension in the air. There was some cheering, but the crowd was very uneasy, as we all have been of late, in the shadow of 9/11, right? So, the shadow that 9/11 casts over everything, in addition to what happened this past week, it was a very emotional week for a lot of human beings, myself included. So I wanted to welcome the crowd and say, when you come through that door and you see these three letters that are behind me, know that this is a safe place. Know that this is your home and you are family, and we are glad you are here. And I think that might have been the best pop I've ever gotten in the 12 years I've been in this business. So it was a great moment. And then, are you ready for the first match? And the crowd went crazy, as if they turned on a dime and they blew up. What happens next? Missa Kate pushes her way past me, jumps in the ring, hijacks the show, and calls out whoever beat the shit out of her the last month and wants a match with them right now. And I'm like, well, if Missa wants a match, and she says, no, shut your mouth. You don't talk now. I'm talking. Well, excuse the fuck out of me.
Wow.
And then Hans Carden comes out. Now, Hans Carden didn't attack her, but he decided he wanted to come out and say, Mr. General Manager, I question you that you did not give me my Metro Division title rematch tonight. So I'm starting to think in my head, well, these two people are in the ring. I'm irritated with both of them now. Let them beat the shit out of each other. But before I could even make the match, Missa attacks Hans. So then the match goes on, and it's Missa Kate versus Hans Carden. That's how my night started.
Rough.
That's how the night started. So the first match isn't even the first match. It's a match that is improvised because of the nonsense that my life is. Missa wins the match, but I'm irritated now. So let's move it to later. Now, I am not too proud a GM to admit when I've made a mistake. So the tag team championship match was to be the Made Men, Boz and Bruss, taking on Shane Boucher and Jack Valor. So I introduced Jack and Shane. And before I can introduce the tag team champions, the hype comes out. And you know the hype is 12 Gauge and Hunter Holcraft.
Right.
And they are an up and coming tag team. They're actually quite good at what they do. And they bet, they're like bookies, they parlay and all that stuff. That's what they do. And they reminded me of something very important that I believe I forgot. The hype hold a pinfall victory over Boucher and Jack Valor. So I said, you're right. For now, I'm going to call off the championship match and give the number one contendership to the hype as they deserved. That's my mistake. Well, then everybody boos the GM. Why would you cancel a match? Well, I canceled a match. I didn't cancel the match. So I decided to give Boucher and Valor a little present. And guess who they got to fight?
Not sure, but go ahead.
The best of TNA wrestling, the tag team of Heather Reckless and Maggie Lee. And it was a very impressive match that Boucher and Valor won. What does that do to their careers when they take on two of the brightest stars in the TNA galaxy and get a pinfall victory?
Should put them in title
I
contention.
would just as soon they said thank you. Maybe I didn't give them what they wanted, but maybe I gave them what they needed. Then after the match, the hype attacked. I guess Hunter Holdcraft's coccyx wasn't as sprained as we thought. And then guess who comes limping out?
Remember now?
Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie Grayson, who's been injured now
Wow.
for months, and he's still in a compression sleeve on crutches. And he hobbles his way in the ring to help out his boys. And the hype pay him no mind because he's on crutches. He's only got one wheel. Well, the joke was on the hype. Eddie puts down his crutches, takes off his compression brace, and beats the brakes off the hype. So now
Wow.
Eddie Grayson shocks the crowd in the pop of the night and helps Valor and Boucher. Immediately following that, a video plays of Shane Boucher taking a bribe or taking some instruction and getting in league with the Made Men. So now you've got Jack and Eddie, who are a great tag team, but in Eddie's absence, Shane Boucher and Jack Valor were getting ready to go for title opportunity. And now we find out that before the match was canceled, that Shane Boucher might have been up to no good to have being paid off by the tag team champions to take a dive.
Wow.
So now I look like a fucking genius because I saved Jack Valor from being betrayed by Shane Boucher.
But what did
I
Grayson
don't
do?
know. I don't know what's going to happen next, but I sure love it. That's some next level general managing. That ain't that garden variety Damian Saint GM shit. That is some next level. I've been doing this a while kind of business, right?
True.
Later on in the evening, it was the time where it was time that Boz and Bruss decided they want to come out and stretch their legs, and they did to me what Marche did to me a month ago or a couple of months ago. Steve, we're not wrestling tonight. Just pay us our money, give us our respect, and let us go home. Au contraire, mon frere. So Boz calls me to the ring, calls me to ringside, takes my mic, dresses me down. So I get my mic back and I'm like, Boz, I'm tired of your shit. I'm tired of all of this made men crap. You didn't think I had a plan for, I've had plan for everything tonight. Even though I've had to make some of those plans on the fly, I have had plans all night long. And your plan, my plan to deal with you is two words: machine 17. And so Machine 17 comes flying out and the match begins. And Machine 17, as young as they are, as new as they are, took the fight to the made men and beat their ass. In the end, the made men do what the made men do. It was not a title match. So the made men come out on top, but you better watch out for Machine 17 because I believe they have the made men's number and they were this close. You know, kind of like the Bears in 84 were this close. And then they became the 85 Bears. I have to go back to that era to talk respectfully about anything. I knew you'd laugh. I knew that would get a laugh at you.
Oh, of course.
By the way, thanks for posting the headline before the game was even over.
Oh,
I
you're
saw.
welcome.
Touche.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. I had stuff to do, so. But
Other
so
matches that were fun. Marche versus Rafael Quintero versus Conan Lycan.
yeah, get to it.
You know, I know I've made fun of Marche on this show. Obviously, he and I are at odds because I do not believe or support in the made men Marche. I keep calling him Old Day. And I said there was no way someone of his advanced years was going to be able to compete with Lycan and Quintero. I was incorrect. There was no shenanigans. There was no run-ins. There was just Marche and Lycan and Quintero and CSW chants. This is awesome chants. Holy shit chants. They were all there. So when this match comes to IWTV, I suggest you get it, watch it, and love it like everybody in that building did. Once again, Marche Rocket reminds us all why he is all day. And he is still the champion. But Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. What a match. Couple of other moments that occurred that were very interesting. The trios match. It was Rico and Blair Onyx versus. Hang on a minute. I want to make sure I get everybody in there and I'm not missing people. I know you're there. Axel, Cypher, and Blair Onyx taking on FXB, Inestra, and Shazza McKenzie. I told you this was going to be a very entertaining match because the teams were so different and it was a weird combination. And it was everything I would hoped it would be. And in the end, Team Rico finds a way to win. And Cypher is celebrating a little bit at the end, and Adam Stallion comes out, and him and Schultz handcuff Cypher to the post, and they force his mask back on out of spite and hatred. Guess who came out and saved Cypher?
Who? I got an idea, but I don't want
Heather Reckless.
to. And that's who I.
For months, once
They.
upon a time, she was leading him around by a chain. She manipulated that monster. And then she saves him.
Maybe she cares.
And I'll tell you what, that was one of the sweetest moments that we have ever had at CSW. It was like a Hallmark movie. Cypher and Heather reunited on good terms. It was a feel-good moment. You put a
Okay.
Christmas tree and you see it on Hallmark in December. That's what kind of moment that was. I was looking for my hot chocolate, not acid jazz. So from start to finish, reckless conduct is a pretty good representation of why Chicago style wrestling is what it is right now. One of the best around. Not just in Chicago, not just in Illinois, not just in the Midwest. One of the best around. And I haven't even mentioned Warhorse versus NWA superstar, former 10 pounds of gold holder, Tom Latimer. Haven't even mentioned that.
Banger.
Banger. You've got two of the top wrestlers on planet Earth involved in a fracas. Now, and in the end, the nihilists came out and there was shenanigans, of course. But we saw Victor Analog, who had been in a match earlier in the evening. And Victor Analog is kind of an interesting dude, to say the least. He was handed a loss by Jay Marston, the Huntsman, who, in my opinion, should be in title contention for one of the championships before too long. Victor Analog ended up being unmasked as one of the nihilists. So it would seem to me that Warhorse is putting together a new group. I don't know what they'll call themselves. Maybe it's the nihilists. But there is something rotten afoot at CSW. With the help of Eric Schultz, Adam Stallion defeated Tupu. That would have made you sad because Tupu did not deserve the treatment he got.
Yeah,
It
I
was
love
basically
to.
it was basically a 2-on-1 match the whole time. So it kind of sucked. Uh, but what a night. What an event. Just some great wrestling, some great storytelling by some of the best in the business. Next up is Dark Ritual in October. And it was revealed that we will be having some special guests, which we like. Let me get to my notes here because my brain is pudding after what I've been doing this week. We have a couple of special guests. Maggie Lee will be returning,
Okay.
which is fun. We love Maggie Lee. We will be graced by the presence of just one of the most interesting characters the the world has ever seen. And when I said that he was coming, the shocked looks I got was amazing. PCO is
Yeah,
coming.
I saw that. And I was like, oh, ooh, shit.
So
Feel
he's one of
sorry
our
for
special
whoever.
guests. Maggie Lee, as I said, will be returning from TNA. And the very, very up and coming superstar Lena Cross. You have seen her on TNA and AEW. She will be coming to Dark Ritual as well. So that is going to be October 10th. Tickets are on sale right now. Get them. I'm sure the front row is probably pretty close to being sold out. They don't last very long. Uh, but it ought to be a very inspired show. And speaking of very inspired shows, she is here.
Hold on.
And now she is gone.
Remember how I said that like no one in my house can respect when I'm on the podcast? Yeah. Hold on.
We can wait. We'll wait for the big reveal of Hey Girl Hey. So CSW, shout out to Hot Rod Daddy Andy. As we said earlier, Cactus, you had to be proud of your guy. He did a great job.
Yes. Hey girl, hey. He did
Hey, girl,
a
hey.
fantastic job, even though he's the one pissing me off right now. He did a fantastic job. Very proud. I think him and Juice should call themselves the Neon Overlords, but they're coming up with something else apparently. Actually, I think they may have chosen the name that Hazel came up with. So,
Well, it was Power Juice on Friday night. I guess that was just a workshop title.
yes, that was a workshop because it got workshopped some more, and Hazel came up with a really good one.
Well, we'll look forward to that coming soon to a CSW venue near you. Red, before Cactus gets ready, at ARW Saturday night, there was some shit. We'll talk about that when we're done with Super Wrestlers before we head out for the evening. I had a chance to sit down with Uncle Drip Drip.
And it was the slowest conversation ever.
And we talked, and your name came up a couple of times. So I have decided that as we approach the end, we are going to bring Uncle Drip Drip back on the Power Hour because he seems to think that he is more versatile as a manager than you ever were. Those are his words, not mine.
It's funny. Again, he can say what he want to say, but it's funny how you had to do what to emulate who to get where, and yet, okay. So until I see his people traveling across the nation, come holler at me. Cactus, what went down, girl?
When? Which time?
Sunday.
Sunday. So much went down. I don't know if you saw the videos I posted. That was only some of what happened. I left.
Did Bill cosplay Roofy Pubic Moose? Am I understand
yes,
that happened?
Yes and no. Yes and no. So Bill Cosplay came out with this for his match. Actually, he offered it to Madam Shatter. Their new doctor friend, I didn't catch the name. Their new doctor friend tested it, and all that came up on the screen after all the analytic graphics was just the word no. And it kept flashing no. So the drink was put to the side. Madam Shatter was safe from that, but not safe from the Madam Shatter listens to Creed chants. Bill Cosplay did end up getting pinned by Destructo and became the Hot Potato Champion.
So Bill Cosplay's the Hot Potato Champion, huh?
No, he's not, actually. So later on in the night, we're gonna skip ahead. Pubic Moose had won the gauntlet for the Super Wrestlers prize.
Yeah.
So
is he the ultimate super wrestler now?
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
So there was a stipulation that night that whoever held the Hot Potato Championship, which was Bill Cosplay, could pin anyone in the building that night and get rid of it. Okay? So the glass...
It's like a briefcase match, but backwards.
Or a hardcore match, but backwards, yes. So the roofie drink was never cleaned up. And so at some point during the night, Pubic Moose, and what I think Pubic Moose tried to do some strategy here. I think he only halfway thought it through.
That sounds
He,
right.
yes, he was fighting for his life against Hot Kazooie, and
That's my favorite super wrestler, by the way, Hot
yeah,
Kazooie.
yes, Hot Kazooie is a big favorite. My friends from Baltimore were really big fans of Hot Kazooie as well. Pubic Moose needed a break. He needed to take a breather, so he went out of the ring and he drank the roofie drink while we all screamed at him not to.
Oh no.
And he got back into the ring and he managed to rally after seeming to fall asleep. So I think this was strategy. I think he thought, okay, I'm going to drink this because I know it's drugged, and I'm just going to fake it, and I'm going to win, and then I can pass out later. So he won. He beat Hot Kazooie, and he became the super wrestler. And then the roofie kicked in, and he passed out. And moments later, Bill Cosplay arrived to take advantage of the situation. And
So now,
so,
Is Bill Cosplay the super wrestler?
no, but Bill Cosplay is no longer the hot potato champion
So Pubic
So
Moose
it's
is the
back
hot potato champion again?
again.
and the super wrestler.
So he's got two titles.
He is both the best and the worst.
Wow.
God damn it, Billy Whack, you beautiful genius.
Yep.
You just don't get that every day, do you? Fucking
You-
A. Why did I have to miss it? God damn it, that's brilliant.
Only Billy Whack, I think, could come up with something like that.
Billy fucking Whack.
Um,
The best
and,
and the worst simultaneously. It's fucking War and Peace. These are the best of times. These are the worst
these are
of
the
times.
worst of times, and that's all at the same time.
Bravo,
And
Billy
then
Whack. Bravo.
we had the King of Crossturnia, who I was very skeptical of. Okay, I did accuse him of having Botox face a couple times. It's like the emotions on your face are not matching the words you're saying, right? So the King of Crossturnia comes to Jordan Cross and is like, "You're my son. The fabric on your wrist matches the fabric on my cape. Blah blah blah." But like, deep down we're all like, "No, this is a trap. This feels like a trap." So Jordan Cross, silly little boy that he is, goes off with the King of Crossturnia. And as they pass through the curtain, the King Crossturnia turns around, and I think he made a very suspicious motion. A very suspicious motion towards the crowd. And whatever that motion was, it was confirmed by the fact that as soon as they had vanished through the portal, it was revealed that the King of Crossturnia is the Master of Disguise, who is the Master of Disguise?
I don't know.
Rydal. It was Rydal. All along, it was a trap. So
Right
now no
on.
one knows where
God.
Jordan Cross is. Probably not listening to Extreme Noise Terror.
Uh, we've all been duped again.
We've all been duped again. So that was the Super Wrestlers. The next show is November 30th. So get your tickets as soon as possible to find out what's going to happen to the punk rock prince and how Pubic Moose is coping with his burdens.
I don't know if he's happy or disgusted.
Yeah. I
That
think mostly
is
disgusted right now.
I can't believe Pubic Moose is the master super wrestler and the fucking hot potato champion.
He
That is
is.
unfucking believable. I'm
And
mind
yet,
fucked right now, man. I'm blown up.
yep.
God, this has been a night.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Party.
God damn. Just the fact that it happened, the fact that somebody said, "Hey, why don't we do that's super wrestlers right there." If you need to sum up super wrestlers in a situation, this is it. This is it. You
Yeah.
can be the best and worst at the same time. Motherfucker. Damn.
And you can win them both at the same time.
bless. God bless the super wrestlers.
God bless
God bless
America.
Billy Whack. God bless America.
Mhm.
America. Only in America. How was
Only
the
in
crowd,
America.
Cactus? Was it a big crowd? Was it hot?
It was hot. It was big. There were a lot of people there. It got so overcrowded that my friends got up and stood behind us, just so we could all have a little bit more space to sit. Yet again, we had those rude people that leave as soon as their person is done wrestling. I'm gonna
Hate
call you out. I'm gonna call you out every time. It's fucking rude.
it is
It is
fucking rude.
tactless. You stay and you support everybody, you little bitches. And then, thank you. Hold up. I am being given my nightly tea. I don't have time to talk about this. Go. And then the balcony was full, like the behind the sound area, that was full, like completely full.
That's a
Like
lot of people.
I've seen a couple people standing back there, but this time it was like
Wall to
all the
wall.
way across, completely full. There was a lot of people standing near the door. Just absolutely, the line was down the street at 6 o'clock. So when we drove up, it was already down past the entrance to that empty parking lot. So
Wow, that's a lot of people.
and whoever, and warning to anyone who's going, that parking lot is now closed off.
Really?
So
Where did you park?
we parked a couple streets away, like on a side street. It wasn't too far, but
Why
yeah,
did they close off the parking lot? That's ridiculous.
yeah, it looks like you could park there if you came early to set up, but then something was set up to prevent any more cars from coming in. So,
Well,
for shame.
that sucks. Well, you better get there early. You better get your tickets early for Super Wrestlers 11. And I believe the working title, from what I read online, is Secrets of the Super Wrestlers.
It is, yes.
Was the big overlord there? Catalyst? Tambor?
No, the autonomous bucket. No, the autonomous bucket was not there.
What about Nexus?
Nexus was not there either, but we may have heard his voice.
There's just so many shenanigans that happen. So many shenanigans.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember all of them, because I will say this. Concord Music Hall, your fog machines made me very ill. So maybe clean them out, see what's happening in there.
He's coughing right now because of it.
No, I literally am. I've been sick since Super Wrestlers. I'm already allergic to the stuff they put in fog machines, so I try not to sit near them. But also, they used a lot of fog machine that night. Maybe clean them out. I don't know.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, Cactus, your Super Wrestlers experience?
I'm going to give the only criticism I've ever given of the Super Wrestlers and say that the first match was shaky.
What was the first match?
The first match was Nolan the fucking Wizard versus Ryor. Also, Ryor, whatever your name is, telling the Pharaoh lady that I don't know, essentially in my brain it translated to go make me a sandwich. Yeah, he said leave the men to the men's sports. Rude.
Oh boy.
Second of all, Nolan the fucking Wizard then turned on. He was sent out as a henchman of the Pharaoh lady, and then turned on her and attacked her henchman, and then got beat by Ryor.
Was the Pharaoh lady there?
Yes.
Well.
Yeah.
What about the Pharaoh himself?
No.
Just the Pharaoh lady.
Just the Pharaoh lady.
Cleopatra impersonator.
No, not a Cleopatra impersonator.
Pharaoh lady.
Just Pharaoh lady. That's what
Is that what she's called?
No, that's not what she's called. That's all I can remember. My brain is fried, okay? My friends came in last night and came in Sunday. We went, so Sunday I had practice at 9:30. I left home at like 8:30. I did not get home until almost midnight that night.
It's a long
And
day.
then the next day, I worked a full day. And then I drove my friends to the Lady Gaga concert. And then I drove Hazel home so she could go to bed on time. And then I drove back to the United Center
To pick them up.
to pick them up because they're not from here. And then drove all the way home and got home at like 1 in the morning and then had to wake up and work another full day. So I am sick and my brain hurts. Pharaoh Lady is as good as you're going to get from me right now.
You have done yeoman's work tonight,
Mm-hmm.
and we are going to let you off early so you can go get yourself together. How did the
Okay.
Baltimore people enjoy it?
They loved it. They bought merch. They loved it. And I'm just going to put this out there, Billy. Maybe you take the Super Wrestlers on the road. I'm just going to put it out there. Maybe you take it on the road. Maybe you travel
Super
with it.
Wrestlers, the tour. That would be a delight.
Sure. And these
The
are not
dimensional
wrestling. These
tour.
are not wrestling. Okay. They're not wrestling fans. I will say that on the way up, one of them was like, yeah, I used to love wrestling. My dad took me to a show because I really love CM Punk. And I was like, you don't say that here. You don't say that here. We had literally just passed CM Venom on the stairs. I was like, don't say that.
Oh,
Don't say that.
God.
We don't say that.
Oh.
I had to give them a quick rundown on the staircase of why we don't say that and who the important people were.
Yeah, that's the guy that came up with the whole fucking gimmick right there.
Yeah. Like that's who you can thank for CM Punk.
Yeah, that's who brought Phil to superstardom, that's for sure.
Mhm.
Well, that sounds
right.
like you had a great time, Cactus, and
I did.
we
Have a
appreciate
great
you coming
time.
on tonight and telling us the tales of the super wrestlers.
Of course. I do have a couple more things.
Yes.
One, next time we're all going, and we're going early, and we're going to Margie's fucking Candies, and we're getting fucking ice cream, okay? Because Andrew promised me this time we were going to get some, because we were up there on Friday. Like the week before, and he promised me we were going to get some. And did we? No, we did
It's gonna be a
not.
little colder though. Aren't
I
you
don't give a
scared?
shit. I get iced coffees all winter. I don't care.
You
So
don't
we're
care.
doing that.
so we're making a date for November 30th, correct?
November 30th. We are going to Margie's Candies, and then we are going to the Super Wrestlers.
Are the Bears?
And then, if we're what'd you say?
He said, "Whether are the Bears playing? It doesn't matter.
Like, who cares? What is it? What are they gonna do? Lose?
Of course.
Probably.
Yeah. And then, if you're at Riot Fest this weekend, please go check out NWA. They will be wrestling there, and your very own Hot Rod Daddy Andy will be wrestling for the NWA. I will also be there, so come say hello to me. But don't say hello to me if I don't like you, and you know who you are if I don't like you. And lastly,
Are there rumblings?
September 27th.
You're fucking killing me.
September 27th.
You're fucking killing me.
Yep. September 27th is a Rec League bout.
I got my candy shirt on and I don't get to play.
Yep. I will be skating on the sword side this time. We're doing another D&D bout. I will be on the soldier side this time.
Do you want to borrow my green cloak?
Sure.
And my wand?
I'm gonna have a sword.
Okay.
My
wand is better. It glows.
I'm skating as Boudica. You like Boudica? Do you know who Boudica is?
I don't care.
Okay, fair enough.
I heard Boudica.
I care.
Yeah, I'm skating as Boudica. So, that's gonna be a fun outfit. If you can make it September 27th, I think you should. There will be another bout October 25th. There will be zombies and vampires in that one.
I always got to pick the days I got to go.
I may or may not be the Bride of Frankenstein.
I would like.
And there's also going to be a minors bout on October 18th.
I'll be there for that.
Okay, good. So keep your days open. Come and support. And new. And this is just about me. New. I am going to be doing the Roller Rage Bank Track tournament in Arizona this January. So
Wow.
I will keep everyone posted for Twitch streams, etc. Skating for the Jawbreakers. So,
That's very cool.
mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you an assignment before you go.
Oh, what?
As you know, December we will be ending this little production.
Mm-hmm.
I would like you, with your sphere of influence with the knockouts, to maybe bring them together on a date that they could name so we
Okay.
could have one final knockouts power hour.
Okay. I will see what I can do.
Like I said, I'm going after all the people that have made this show special over the years.
All right. I will get in the Discord and make a post about it now.
That would be a delight.
All right. I'm going to go back to bed now. I
Go
love you
gentle
all.
into that good night, Cactus Rack. Go gentle into that good night.
I don't do anything gently.
That's
I
fair.
think you know this. All right. Bye, girl. Bye. I love you both. Smooth
Bye, girl.
kisses.
Bye, girl.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, girl. Bye.
All right. So before we wrap this package,
And the Bears do not play on December 30th. Well, December
November
30th.
30th.
Oh, November 30th. Now they play the 28th, and they're gonna get their ass beat.
Who they
So
playing on 28th?
the Eagles.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they're gonna get their ass kicked.
Dude, I'm looking at the schedule. It is not looking pretty for y'all. Like,
No.
y'all got the Cowboys next, then the Raiders. You might win that one. Then the Commanders, the Saints. You should win that one. Then the Ravens, the
We'll win that one.
Bengals.
We'll stop
The
Lamar.
shit, yeah, okay. Then the Giants. That might be hard. Then the Vikings. Then Aaron Rodgers comes back to town to prove that he's your daddy.
Listen, okay, I'm gonna say this publicly right now. If the Steelers come to Chicago and beat the Bears, not only am I retiring from wrestling, I'm retiring from being a Bears fan.
I'm just telling you, it's not looking pretty.
It's not looking too good. All right, so before we go, let's talk a little bit about ARW Pro. Survival of the fittest. It happened in Hobart, Indiana this past Saturday.
Yep.
Um, you know how they say that the first match has got to set a tone for the show?
Yeah.
You want to know what the first match was at Survival of the Fittest?
No clue.
Shaq Jordan versus Kid Lat.
Oh shit.
The rest of the night, everybody had to level up to unexpected heights to reach the bar that Shaq and Lat set. I feel like we should get to watch that match every day.
I
That's
did
how
see
good,
part of it. So
that's how good it was. Two of the great heroes in this business. It was face on face. So the ultimate winner was the crowd. Shaq went over. He was the winner of the match. But what a match it was. And after the match was over, Shaq sat Indian style in the center of the ring and dropped his very own pipe bomb and basically warned Indiana State champion James Creed, the Queen, that he's coming for him. So, very great match, very ominous ending. The program, Eric Schultz and Jay Thunder with Uncle Drip Drip in tow, took on Pestilence, Joey Dalton and Mr. One Night Stand, Christian Torron. Needless to say, the program are still the champions. And in this universe, Eric Schultz is a stellar human being which is very awkward for me. He's
Why?
beloved by the fans. I want you to picture that in your mind's eye, how that would look.
I can't.
He and Jay Thunderboy, they make a hell of a tag team. Uh, you could tell at the beginning of the match that Christian and Joey Dalton weren't on the same page 100%. Christian wanted to dance, Joey wanted to fight, and at the end of the day, Christian gets pinned. And Joey helps him to his feet and then absolutely destroys him. Mollywop style. So Pestilence is no more. Christian was left laying in the ring wondering why. And Joey Dalton left strong. God only knows what happens next for him. But Pestilence, who is a great tag team, did well at Wrestle League, was doing great at ARW, has disbanded officially at the hands of the program and the ever-growing ego of one Christian Torreon. So that was something. And the match that I thought was going to be the least entertaining might have been one of the most entertaining matches of the night, as Nick Diamond took on Angel Armani.
Right.
CMOS Dave was banned from ringside. Nick Diamond, we have agreed on this show many times that Nick Diamond is a pretty impressive superstar. And we have watched him transcend over a period of time. Because when we were at CTW 2.0, the very first show, he was Mikey Balls.
I know he wrestled me.
He wrestled you. Then he became Nick Diamond. So I have been
And he wrestled me again.
I have been there at the birth of Nick Diamond. And Nick has worked his ass off. As is in the best physical shape of his life. He looks like a god, and he wrestles like one too. And Angel Armani is a retirement home guy. But I was wrong. Angel Armani fought hard. Did things in that ring that an elderly statesman should not be able to do. And it was a match that went back and forth all night long. Diamond gets the win. But Angel Armani, you know him well. He's been around a long time. I this is my first experience with him. I don't know him well, but I sure as fuck respect him now. That performance, unfucking believable. Was he like the baddest man on the planet when he was a young man?
Yeah.
You could tell. Nick was almost done a couple of times. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, Nick, what are you doing?
Angel Armani has many a times, at least for me, surprised me over the years, just the things that he could do. Great technician, um, knows his way inside and out that ring uh, with the best of them. So, you know, it says a lot that Diamond picked up the win. No shenanigans, but to hear Angel can still go, I'm
I
not
will
shocked.
never shit talk that man again. He is what he is, and he's goddamn good.
What
Uh,
else?
Another elder statesman, the president of ARW, uh, Dave Allen had a match.
Okay.
Now, Dave Allen, I have talked some mess about as well, and then I saw what he did at the Sheriff's Slamboree, and he was really good. So I'm like, maybe I'm not the only old guy that still has some meaning in this life. Maybe all these other guys are good at what they do too. He fought Saturn Pride.
Okay.
This Saturn wrestler, I'm going to make a comparison. He's young, he's new in the business. Looks like a young backwoods Brown. And I watched this man perform. Dave Allen gets the win because that's what Dave Allen does. And again, much like Angel Armani, he did not look. He looked the part, and he fought his ass off and took a beating. But I want to tell you what, I keep saying that ARW Pro has some of the best young talent I've ever seen. Let's put Saturn into that mix because what a performance. That kid can go. And if he can become half of what Backwoods Brown is, can you imagine the star power that kid's got?
Well, I can't wait to see it.
Come to ARW. Well, you're going to be there on October 11th, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure he'll be there. You'll get a chance to see it. And you will love it, I promise you. One of the focal points of the night was Muggsy James speaking on what Braun the Lumberjack did, turning on him and beating him down. Well, the family came out and they were amped up. And there is a new family member, C Red, that we know quite well. The career killer, Chris Miller, is now a member of the family.
What?
Saw it with my own eyes.
Wow.
So Muggsy says his piece, and Muggsy doesn't need to speak much to get his point across. He just said, fuck this, get your bitch ass out here, and let's do this. So Braun the Lumberjack comes out, and he's changed his name. He's no longer Braun the Lumberjack.
Okay.
He is Braun the Bully Mammoth.
Okay.
And he came out with a few members of the AFA. Mind you, the family and the AFA are
Don't get along.
they don't get along, but they are both factions that Ivan Manson had heavy ties to.
Correct.
So it's as if the universe is divided into the family and the AFA. And I imagine that's going to come to a head on October 11th at the Hammond Civic Center because it got heated. And there were people, there was security, other wrestlers keeping everybody apart. It was a melee. But Braun the Bully Mammoth and Muggsy James, that's coming. And it ain't going to be pretty. So it was Team Glover versus Team Creed. So Team Creed was Sempiternal, which are his two boys, and then CMOS Dave was his third man. So that's Team Creed taking on Greg Glover, who is a tremendous fighting champion, and his team was all the young superheroes for ARW that we saw at Sheriff Slamboree. Judas Chavez, Josh Moon, and Brendan Balling. If I've said it once, I've said it 100 times. Brendan Balling is absolutely legit as fuck. And I have had the pleasure to see wrestlers debut and be young and come into their own and go on to do big things. I haven't felt like this about a young wrestler since the early days of Sky Blue, and look what she's done. Brendan Balling has that aura. It's like when he gets tagged into a match like that, everything levels up. It's like it goes up to his level. It's really pretty incredible. Well, this match went on forever. It's an elimination match. It's the survival of the fittest match. So you have to pin and until it gets down to whoever's left, right? That's the team that wins. So it gets nuts. We'll skip ahead to the end. So it's Greg Glover is the lone survivor on his team. And James Creed and CMOS Dave are the lone survivors on Team Creed. Well, CMOS Dave and Greg Glover have history. I thought it was good history, like they tag teamed and such, but there seemed to be some bitterness. And at the end of the night, CMOS Dave imploded and took a chair after he was eliminated, or I think he eliminated himself, took a chair and absolutely destroyed Greg Glover with chair shots that still resonate in my brain. Remember that chair shot I took from Aaron Stone?
Yeah.
That was pretty hard, right?
Yeah, fairly. I mean, you would know better, but yeah.
I mean, you saw the footage. He didn't hold back. I
No,
got
he didn't.
mollywopped. What CMOS Dave did to Greg Glover was 100-fold worse than what I got at Kicks on 66. He beat that man down and then hit his. There was no covering up. That chair bashed Glover to the point where he was unconscious.
Oh shit.
It's as if CMOS Dave lost his mind. And then after that, all hell broke loose. It's as if James Creed got the pin after CMOS Dave did what he did and left the building. Creed, in shocked fashion, just stood there stupefied at everything that went down and pinned Glover. So Team Creed wins. But that's not your takeaway. Your takeaway is CMOS Dave actually snapping. And I don't think, wrestling is a strange beast. You know, Billy Rack says, believe everything. Don't suspend disbelief. Believe it all. I don't believe the way that match ended was the way it was supposed to. I believe a man had a psychotic episode and bludgeoned another man and then threw the chair out of the ring. And some things happened after that that were crazy. I'm not going to get into that because ARW Pro is still investigating what went down after that match. But it was tense. After that show was over, there was a tension in that building like I have never seen. So now, with this tension, you move forward to October 11th. And let's just say if Mr. Glover has a match with CMOS Dave, we better wear hard hats and hide under the commentary table because someone's out of there in an ambulance. Glover is going to see the footage and see what happened. And if you know anything about Greg Glover, you don't want to piss that boy off. Right?
Very true.
He had just been in a match where, it was grueling. It was, almost like an hour, felt like an hour that they fought. And then things went sideways and the attack. CMOS Dave might be one of the most psychotic episodes I mean, I can't explain it. I've seen him a couple of times now. I have not worked with him previously, but I've seen him fight in the couple of ARW shows that I've been in. He's really good at what he does. The monster lock is a pretty fun thing, right? I had no idea this was coming. So I just sat there like, huh. What happens next? Well, what happens next is October 11th at the Hammond Civic Center, ARW Pro. There are going to be no booths where you have to pay $80 to take a picture with somebody from 1998. Ain't going to be any of that shit. ARW doesn't need that shit. It's going to be all ARW, all that era, all the people that make that place special, plus some ghosts of Christmas past, some ghosts of Christmas future, and a few wild cards thrown in for good measure. You know what's on that marquee along with the ARW Pro? DWA is on that marquee, isn't it? And we
Yeah.
know what DWA can do.
Yeah, we do.
The Hammond Civic Center, October 11th. Fuck. And then in November, I get to do my first ever ARW Black and Blue. So I am heading down the road in style as I make my final few appearances of 2025. So very exciting. ARW. That's the shit, man. They want it. They're hungry, and it's pretty badass. So catch it when you can. Well, Red, that's all. We're done.
It's been the full
We
full
watched
ride.
we watched the return of the Brutal Bear. We talked about the GM being victimized at CSW. We talked about the Master Super Wrestler and the Hot Potato Champion being one and the same. And we talked about the chair shots heard around the world.
That's enough.
Wrestling.
Yeah.
Thanks to Chicago Bear Hug Steve Michaels for being our guest tonight. This weekend, don't miss Rocket Pro Wrestling live at the Hollywood Boulevard. Catch the Fall Brawl show in its entirety on the big screen. Go hang out with C-Red and have an M80. We will be back here next week. I'm not going to tell you who the guest is because that would ruin all the fun. Maybe I'll ruin it. Do I want to ruin it? Let me see.
Be nice.
Nah. You'll have to wait till Sunday, bitches, just like everybody else.
Well, it's more eventful than the Bears, so I can wait.
I got to have something to do, right? All right, for the urban sensation, C-Red. For Rion Skills, the real deal, who had no plans on being here tonight with our guest. And for the lovely and talented Cactus Rack, I am Steve. We will catch you next time on the Power Hour. Good night, and for God's sake, be nice to each other. Life is too fucking short. We'll see you.